Good evening. It's 5 to 10. I'm in the library. I haven't done any proper work all day. Welcome to my TED Talk. That was the theme tune. Anyway, so the problem with doing a video unscripted in the library late at night is that you can never get past the 5 minute mark. And so when I am trying to ramble on about my perspective on the general ignorance of society that I have found nearly a year into my PhD, and how actually this general ignorance is not just among the average person and who will say silly things like or get neurotypical confused with neurodivergent or things like that. I'm talking about like structural scientific horrors with eugenics and electric shock therapy and actual Nazis and all these other things. Um, I use my train of thought because actually trying to explain, the impact this has on my mental health when I hear or read philosophers who don't know shit, who are parroting scientists, who also have not done due diligence of actually talking to an autistic adult ever, compare autistic children to chimpanzees as to what we can do. I don't know how to make a video about this because even if I had a script, it would just become one of those long half an hour videos where I talk about how, the Nazis were involved in this or how actually the struggles that trans people face are similar to struggles autistic people face because a large number of trans people are autistic and we should have solidarity. Again, that video, didn't go excellent because, transphobia. But so what do I even say? Yeah, my mental health is actually not bad, right? Like, socialization wise, objectively, I'm doing better than I have done in years. But I am finding myself in a situation where I have to decide in the next month, basically, again, this is all very flexible, but I have to decide what my research problem is, what the literature already exists is, what I'm gonna research, what I'm gonna solve, and what I have to solve is the global perception of autistic people that is crushing us in a very real manner because we have been dehumanized systematically for the last century and 20 years, right? Okay, let me exaggerate. It's a century and 17 years, right? Again, can't do maths. But so, what on earth have I found myself in? It's become this mad bumble of rage and then procrastination and then rage again and meltdowns after acting after and it's like I'm loving it. I actually am. I have a bit of a purpose, but that doesn't stop me from distracting myself from playing Minecraft for many, many hours, in which I play it like you would expect an autistic person to play it, where I build the railways in between the towns and I try to effectively trade with villagers to get the most amount of emeralds. Because again, I am autistic. I have to fulfill some level of stereotype of way to take away my cards. Which I probably don't want the cards because, yeah, fascism's coming. That's a thing. And, I realise I haven't done a video on this channel for a while, right? I haven't talked about RFK Jr. and his Tylenol causes autism, circumcision causes autism, because you know what? What can I really add to that other than this is bullshit, this is why it's bullshit, and every autistic creator's done that. I can't really add to it. Ren, my sibling, did their master's dissertation on this. Like, I can't top that. So, where do I stand? I thought I would have to do this whole second chapter of my thesis on establishing how psychologists have kind of psychologists like this have leaked into philosophy. Turns out, actually, there's a whole paper already done on that, which I can just use. Yeah, it saves me time, but I've also got to, I keep having to think as I do more reading. What is my new angle? What am I saying that hasn't been said before, right? And, do I come up with do I just say, yeah, we're tearing the whole system down? Well, yeah, okay, but the reality is that the system is entirely broken so much that even if you were to tear it down, there will be nothing to rebuild with. I was, over Christmas, I was doing the funnest of things, which is reading a 200-page report from the House of Lords, where they basically pointed out that actually all of the government's money on this is going purely into diagnosis. Nothing before, nothing after. No actual structural support, no societal changes, no how can we do things better. I mean, there are a few things, but the few things that there are usually because an autistic person has died because they weren't done properly in the first place. Um, yeah, I was getting lost in that rant about diagnosis, but my point is that actually, even with all the effort they're putting into diagnoses, um, there's still in certain county councils a horrific wait time. For example, in Oxford, the waiting list for adult assessment closed because the wait list had reached 18 years, right? So even with the government focusing entirely on diagnosis, nothing is actually effective. And, that report was saying things like, actually, to solve this problem, we need something about £1 billion worth of funds. And the government's like, here, take 15 million. That will solve it because everything in this country needs more money after 15 years of austerity, and there is no money to be had. But I digress. Okay. So where am I? What am I saying? Who knows? It's 20 past 10 at night in the library that I've hijacked the room. It's much fun. Um, so, yeah, I don't, so this is where I am in my mental state. You know what? I'm going to end the video here. We're in a mad raging time. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, I need to figure out the socialization thing. Good night, guys.